Hello guys, welcome again to the Keys Telecoms. We are back with another video. So this one I will basically just be going through broadcast IP, what that is, what are the consequences if your router is on a broadcast address, things like that, and just to show you, more especially the tech guys, people that are dealing with troubleshooting. Customer would say, look, I don't know what's going on. I cannot get through to the internet. It does say connected, but no internet, those type of things. So if you have already checked everything else, this is also one of the things that you can have a look at. The reason I'm saying this specifically is because I know it does get overlooked on certain things. It might be advanced for some, but yeah, just in case, because it does also happen that the router takes itself back to default configurations, or for some reason it just goes on the broadcast IP address instead of the given IP, to allow it to be able to receive or to get internet, right. So on the total link, the router that we're going to use now, is a total link N300 RU. What you do, so basically this is the standard on pretty much on most routers, right. On this one we'll go under network, and then you go under LAN settings. Once you are here, so again, you just need to know what you are looking for. This is not only for a total link where you will see it under LAN settings. Again, like I said, in most routers you will find this under LAN settings. What you want to be looking for is your IP address, right. IP address assigned to this particular device, right. So IP address for this router, right. So in this case, this is an IP address, default IP address for a total link, right. So it's on a 0 range, as you can see here. So this can differ, right. Let's say, for instance, your ISP has set up your routers because your ISP is probably managing your devices, or the DHCP is set up on your router. So you'd see maybe they say, you know what, for our routers we want to use a 2 range, so we don't want to use a 0 range, because everyone, literally everyone in the network space knows the default for all the routers. It's either a 0 range or a 1 range or 8 range, whatever the case is, we know, right. So maybe a specific provider would say, we want ours to be on the 2 range, we want ours to be on the 1 range, we want ours to be on the zero range. Maybe some say, okay, no, let's leave it there, but we'll just change the last octet, or we'll just change, it depends, right. So assuming, let's say, for instance, for this router, the given IP address by your ISP for this router is 192.168.2.254, right. So what basically this means is that this IP, if you check the list, is this IP, this device would be associated with this IP address, right. So this basically just means that this total links IP address, should you look for the total links IP address, this total links IP address is 192.168.2.254, right. And then in some cases, and I've seen this happen a lot, right, when you are troubleshooting, a customer says, you know what, I cannot get through, I cannot get out, no, to the internet, and you've checked everything seems to be fine. You've checked internally, you've checked externally, that is externally to the WAN. You've also checked the systems, and you're like, you know what, everything looks to be fine, but I can see the customer is not actually getting traffic, or there's no traffic going through. All right, there's no throughput. This is very important. In some cases, you would see, or in most cases, you would see this on 255, right? No, I don't want to do that. Okay, so you'll see this on 255. So 192.168.2.255, still with the same subnet. Nothing usually changes here, right? This is a problem, right? Okay, first things first. A standard class C network consists of 256 addresses. So basically, this is just the number of the IP addresses allowed, or usable IP addresses allowed on this subnet, right? On this class C subnet mask. All right. So by default, on a class C has or consists of 256 IP addresses, right? And this is inclusive of 0 and 256. However, right, the 0, or rather the .0 on the network, and I think, yeah, and the .255, those ones are basically the network, right? Or they are, what's the word I'm looking for? So those ones, there's a word I'm looking for, but I can't get it. I can't get it now. So those ones are reserved. There you go. These ones are reserved for the network, right? So these are not usable. For instance, you can't use anything that's going to say .255 on a network, or on a class C subnet. So what I'm trying to say is that if your IP, or if your router's IP address is on a .255, it means it's on the broadcast state, meaning all the devices. So this is what you typically use, when you want to communicate with all the devices on the network. Right, but we'll dig into that deep. Like, there will be your things like your ARP or your ARP. There's a lot of things usually on layer 2 devices, things like your switches and things like that, when they want to find out what the IP address of the particular device, because remember, layer 2 works on MAC addressing and all that, but I don't want to bore you with that for now. That's for another video. So always make sure that your IP address is on 255, on 254, anything from 254 going down, depending on whatever is set up on a class C subnet. Okay, so basically what you just need to know is that the class C subnet masks consist of 256 usable IP. Okay, no, not usable, because the 0 and the 255 are not usable. Those are reserved for the network. So it consists of 255, actually 254 usable IP addresses. Right? This is very important, and most technicians, or most support technicians, or most people in our field, they forget to look at this, or they don't even look at it at all. So it's very important to always just make sure, obviously depending on what you've done in terms of your troubleshooting, where did you start, what did you find out, were there any probable causes, did you test any theories and all of that stuff. So once all your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted, it's one of the things that you would obviously have to look at. Okay, thanks so much for watching and listening to that, and please make sure that you do subscribe, like and comment, and also do hit the bell notification so that you get notified when we do create more videos. And please do comment on anything, like whatever you want to find out, whatever you want to know, relating to network, relating to literally anything. we will let you know if it's something that we can obviously create a video on, whatever the case is. Okay, let's all interact, let's all help each other, to actually get a better experience of what we do on a day-to-day, be it home, internet experience, or work internet experience, or just your work as a day-to-day, as a technician, or as someone learning or studying IT, or whatever the case is. Okay, thanks so much, guys, and please do enjoy further.